Now to the stalemate over raising the debt limit. If no agreement is reached, in less than 2 weeks, the U.S. may not be able to pay its bills. As President Biden prepares to return home from an abbreviated trip to Japan, sources say there's still no meeting scheduled between the White House and congressional leaders. We get the latest now from ABC's Phil Lipoff.
As the U.S. inches closer to a default on its $31.4 trillion debt, a halt in negotiations between the White House and House Republicans. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy accusing the White House of moving backward in discussions over raising the debt limit.
I don't think we're going to be able to move forward until the president can get back in the country.
Late Friday, negotiators from both sides met for more than an hour behind closed doors with a key GOP lawmaker calling it a candid discussion. Key issues in the negotiations include government spending cuts, unspent COVID relief funds, and new work requirements for federal aid programs. The White House and President Biden claim there is a bipartisan path forward.
I still believe we'll be able to avoid a default and we'll get something decent done.
House Speaker Kevin McCarthy says a deal needs to be reached this weekend in order to pass legislation through the House and Senate before June 1st. That's when Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen warns the government could run out of money. The bills due that day include $47 billion for Medicare, $12 billion for veterans benefits, and $10 billion for military pay and retirement. The topic of the debt limit, a subject of interest at the G7 summit in Japan.
This is not generating alarm or a kind of vibration in the room. I would just say that the countries are keenly interested in what is a significant story, and the president has been able to tell them that he believes that we can get to a good result here.
President Biden ending his trip to Asia ahead of schedule to resume negotiations in person. Phil Lipoff, ABC News, New York.